Hello everyone, I am going to, in this video, show you about the flower punch board. Now I know the flower punch board has been around for a while and there are probably many videos online, but what I've noticed is that most people only demonstrate one flower. They choose a size from the chart here and they demonstrate one. Well, I am going to show you all of them. We're going to make all 7 flowers. We are also going to make some leaves, and we are also going to, I'm going to show you about the stem so you don't have to purchase the flower kit. Okay, I have already cut all of my paper according to the chart here, so we'll be using the inch chart. So we have 7 sizes. We have an extra small, which produces a 3-inch diameter flower. And ours are going to be slightly smaller, and I'll show you. You've probably seen the trick already, but I'm going to show you anyhow on how to make it dimensional. So that calls for one cut strip of 1 3/4 by 6. And then we have extra small, which is a 4-inch diameter, small 5-inch, a medium 6-inch, a large 7-inch, extra large 8-inch, and an extra large 9-inch diameter. For the medium, large, extra large, and 2XL, we need 2 strips of paper, and that's that little star. That's what that indicates. So let's get started. And I'm going to start with, here's all my papers. Strips that already have been cut. What's cool about these flowers is you can use your scraps, and that's what I did as I went through my scraps. So this is extra small, 1 3/4 by 6. So okay, so let's get started now. What we're going to do is we're going to start here. We're going to punch. Now we're doing the extra large. Oh, and we also have to do this little guy right here. We're going to go to the extra small line, which is right here. Punch. The extra small is a little tough because there's not a lot of space for you to. Oh, and I forgot to do my score line. Put that back. So you have to score in 2 places. You have to score straight down, and you have to score diagonally. And then you take that straight down score and you line it up with your extra small line right here. I'm going to score both of those places and punch, and then move over. You can see your petals forming right there. It cuts off a little bit of the tip, so this isn't touching over here, so always make sure it's touching right here the best you can. You just go all the way to the end. And then when you get to the end, you're just gonna we're gonna actually be cutting this off, but yeah, let me get my trash out of here. Okay, now I'm going to fold these. Grab a pair of scissors. Cut this off. You don't need that piece. And you just want to fold every other way. See? back and forth. And then when you get here, you're going to line these two corners up like this. Okay. And then lay this flat. And there's a flower. Now, if you wanted this flower flat, that's great. It would be flat. Or you can cut off this petal, and by doing that, and you don't even have to cut it off, you could glue it, instead of cutting it off, you could just glue it on the back of this one, and then your flower is dimensional. So what you can do is you can use this to roll, let's see, your petals, but nobody does that because it's easier to do this with your scoring tool. And this is easier done before you glue. Now what I like to do with these is just dress the edges, of course, and make them pretty. And I like to glue in between each, just a little dab of glue in between each one. And I think I am going to glue that, and it can be drying while we're working on the others. So, a little dab on each one of these. Like that. And I'll set something heavy on it while it dries. There we go. We'll just set the glue on it while it dries. Doesn't have to be that heavy. And we'll go ahead and punch the next one. So the next one is the extra small, and it's 2 1/4 by 9. So now we are going to use the extra small line. And you can see I have a little bit of the paper. I'm using part of the edge you're not supposed to use. So I'm going to make that the bottom. So we're going to start here, punch, score, move over to the extra small line. Now we have 2 scores to make this time. Put that in there real good. Punch. now we have the small flower, which was 2 5/8 by 12. It's a 5-inch diameter. Okay, now this is the medium flower, so it's 3 1/8 by 7 1/2, and we have 2 of them. So this produces a 6-inch diameter flower. Okay, now we have the large flower, which is a 7-inch diameter, 3 1/2 by 9 inches. And again, we use 2 pieces. All right, moving right along. Now, our next one is the extra large flower, which is 4 by 10 1/2. And again, we have 2 sheets. Okay, now the last and the largest flower is the extra large, which is a 9-inch diameter. It measures the 4 1/2 by 12, and we have 2 of them. Now, this is just regular pattern paper. It's not even cardstock, so this one should go pretty easy. So now we have all of our flowers. So here is the extra, extra small, which is the 3-inch diameter. If you wanted your flower to lay flat, you would glue it there. And I think I do want my flower to lay flat. So I am going to just stick some glue and glue it just like that. And then we have our next one, which is our 4-inch diameter. And then we have our next one, which is our 5-inch diameter. We could put these together if we wanted to. And then we have our, this one, which is our 6-inch diameter. We could do that if we wanted to. Okay. And then we have our 7-inch diameter, our 8-inch diameter, you can mix and match them, you can layer them, whatever you want to do. And then we have our 9-inch diameter. So now we need to, now I think I'm going to, off camera, I'm going to distress the edges and glue them together. Remember, if you want more dimension, then you're going to remove one petal or glue it behind and you can have more dimension. Okay, so I'm going to play around and do that, and then when I come back we will do the leaves and the stems. Just wanted to give you a little bit of update of where I'm at with the flowers and the leaves. So let me get some of this out of the way. Here are the flowers all stacked up. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 going from sort of the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 inch. So we have all 7 flowers. They're all just flat. I haven't, I think I've only glued the first one actually. So none of these others are even glued. What I did do was distress around the edges here and in the middle. I haven't even decorated the middle yet. With this one I just did some black around the edges. This one's some purple. This one I actually did 2 colors, spiced marmalade and mustard seed, to kind of give it a little bit of an orange tint. And then the 9-inch one is just some purple, or what is that called? Seedless preserves. I'm not very good with the official names. I just call it purple, yellow, green, blue. Okay, leaves. What I've done is I went ahead and prepared a bunch of leaves. This is a 4x4-inch square, and then what you do is you just use this reverse punch on your board and chop off the 2 corners. You can also make these by hand, super easy, just with make a square or a rectangle. Rectangle I think actually works better and looks better, looks more like leaves. This is a pretty fat looking leaf, but this is a 4-inch square. I think this one is a 3.5. These are 3 inches. These are all 3-inch. And then we have 2.5, and these are all 2 inches. And then what I did was I distressed the edges with some green just to get rid of the white. And then I put them on the board here, corner point to point, and then just scored that. I folded it and distressed the middle to give it a line. And then this one, I actually tore the paper, but that's okay because it's very forgiving. And you'll see that when we get them put together. So the next step, I think now, would be to figure out what I want to put in the middle. So you could put anything in there. You could put a button. You could put, use a hole punch, like a large one, like I'll show you what I'm talking about. Like one of these. This is a 5/8 inch. You could put one of those. You could color it. You could, I've actually covered them before with glossy accents, so it's kind of shiny. You could put some glitter glue on it and glitter it. You could also put some stickles or some glitter glue around your petals here. Hang on, let me shut my door. You could decorate these in any way. If you don't have pattern paper, but you have solid paper like this, you could punch a bunch of little holes with a hole punch and put dots on here. You could put stamps on here. You could really decorate them lots of different ways. Like I said, buttons in the middle. Let me think, what else? Oh, pom-poms, these little pom-pom things. Now, this color isn't going to be right, but these little pom-poms, look at that. If it was a different color, look how cute that is. How about this? So, that is, now I want to show you a couple of other ideas before I continue. Get some supplies here for you. Okay, what I have here is, these are the sticks that come with the pinwheel kits. I don't use them on my pinwheels because they aren't sturdy enough. I like to use a dowel on my pinwheels. And so I was thinking these could be used for your flower stem. So, something like that. And then what do you think if we took a couple of leaves, and my hand's in the way, and glued those on there? If you don't like, I haven't tried it yet, but if you don't like the stripes, maybe you could color it with some Distress inks or Distress stain. I actually color my dowels a lot with Distress stain, so I'll show you that. Okay, so this is Mowed Lawn Distress Stain. It's brand new. I haven't used it yet. I've only done it with the brown, so to be kind of careful because the dowel is kind of rough. I didn't sand it ahead of time. And you don't want to tear up your sponge when applying it, so okay. So there's your stem and your leaf and your flower on here. It's cute. Okay. What about this? Let's test this. Didn't like the stripes. I'm actually going to use this one, so we're going to see. We'll see at the end how this comes out. little wet yet. Didn't really want to get my fingers dirty. Let me get a Kleenex. There we go. Right. Something like that. And then we need a middle. Isn't that cute? These would be so cute for a theme for a birthday party, a young girl's birthday party or something, and have these decorated around the table. I actually have this vase that I'm going to put all of my flowers in. This tall, skinny vase. So. Okay, so I just want to give you a couple of ideas here before I moved on. I'm trying to, so look at this. This is one of those glass, this is a pretty big glass piece. I have a bag of these I got at the dollar store. These are the smaller glass, I don't know what they're called, glass marbles or something. This is a big one. It's 1 1/4 inch is, but still, you could use alcohol inks and color this. Or you could just leave it and hot glue that in there. That's really cute. It would be cuter probably if it was colored, so it was shiny but not quite see-through. I'd color the back side though, so what it would do is it would hide this piece right in here. So there's an idea. What about for Halloween? What about a giant eyeball for Halloween? Look at that. That would be cute. Actually, I liked it on this one better. But yeah, that would be really cute to make some little monster type flowers. Here's a button. You could even put some thread coming through here. I would probably use like cross stitch thread or some twine, string or something. And then here is an orange mini pom-pom. That's kind of cute. So those are just a couple of ideas. I mean, the ideas are pretty much really endless. I'm still waiting on some things to dry, but I kind of wanted to give you a quick little update on where I'm at, where we're at on our flowers. So I've gone ahead and put some of them together. Now, typically you're supposed to decorate in 3s, but I think that it's okay that I'm using 2 flowers to make 1 flower because it's like the center. So on this one, I put the small pink, the extra small pink flower inside this flower, and I don't even know which size this one was, but it doesn't matter. And then I took some of these Nuvo Jewel drops and made little like dewdrops, and I'm not sure that the camera is really picking those up. Here's one right here on my thumb, and there's some on the There we go. You can see them. They're focusing. Anyhow, and then I put a yellow pom-pom right in the middle, which I thought was cute, and it kind of matched. And I could have even distressed the pom-pom with some spiced marmalade, which, bear with me, and maybe I'll do that. See if I can do that without ruining it. Get it open. This is distressed stain. This is actually ripe permission. But I think it helped. I like it. You could do that with probably with distress inks as well, or the oxide inks, or one of the markers. Just dab a little on there. So that's going to have to dry for a few minutes. Okay, the next one is, I put this is the extra large, and this is the large, so this one must be the extra large. I put these two together because of the color coordination, of course. And I cut a circle. This is a 1.5 inch circle, and I ran it through my, what is that thing called? Embosser, and embossed some, just some little dots there. And then I took some Spice Marmalade Distress ink and kind of rubbed around the edges and over the top. So now, if you'll notice, this flower is flat. This one is not. So this one, you could either cut off a petal, or you could just glue 2 petals together. So I glued 2 petals together to give this some dimension. And this one is just flat. Okay. There's nothing drying on this one. There's no glitter or anything. This one, I put the black and the pink together, and I put some stickles around the edges of the petals. You can't see it on the pink petals, but I did put some on the pink. Now notice it's not, I didn't try to make it nice. I did it super fast, and just however it came out, it came out. And then for the middle there, I have just cut a small black circle, and I just roughly squirted a whole bunch of stickles on top, and it is still drying, but oh, now it's stuck to my finger. It's going to go in the middle like that. And I really like the pink distress ink that I did in the middle that kind of shines, pops out there. So that one is still drying. Now this one, my idea for this one, I didn't go any further with this because I wanted to show you on camera what I was doing with it. So I made this one dimensional. Oh, and by the way, let me back up here. I don't think either one of these are dimensional. Let me count the petals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, these are not dimensional, either one. The pink one does seem to have some dimension to it, a little bit. But anyways, this one I did make it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 petals. That one has 8. So, but what I wanted to show you was I have a circle here. This is a 2.5 inch circle, I believe, and I cut a slit to about the middle, and I'm going to lay that in here like so, glue it, and put this pom-pom. But then I decided it was missing something. It's a little plain, so I think I'm going to cut the edges, just cut the edge off slightly with one of my decorative scissors. And maybe we'll try this big curvy one, which is this one. Just gonna go as close to the edge as I can get. Doesn't have to be perfect. it doesn't work, we'll throw this piece away and cut another circle. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to take our glue. I'm just going to generously put a lot of glue. I always get glue all over my fingers. And I'm going to stick this in and just let it fold naturally. I'm just making sure I get the tip here and the tip in the middle. And actually, you have to kind of let it spread out. Oops, we're going to need that again, I think. Just going to hold it for a second here. Okay, and then I'm going to generously, again, put some in here. If I get too much, it's okay. I can wipe some off, but I don't think that'll happen. And then I'm going to hold this pom-pom down. Don't think I have anything I could set on top of this. I'm going to have to hold it. Just hold it for, 30 seconds or so and let it dry. And maybe I don't even need to hold it for 30 seconds. Okay, so this is where we're at. So that's an update. The next step is going to be to figure out what stems we want and what leaves we want and how tall we want them. I want them to go in our vase, so they have to be different heights. And we have all of our leaves here as well. Okay, I'm still waiting on some stuff to dry, but while I'm doing that, I am going to prepare a dowel with the Distress stain. You could probably do this with a number of other types of medias, like it might take longer, but you could use marker. You could probably use Distress inks even. Get a Kleenex. I use a lot of Kleenexes. You could probably use Distress ink pad as well, but I'm not sure. But one thing I would caution you is I'm really worried I might be tearing up my sponge tip here. So maybe in the future it might be a good idea just to rub it down with some fine sandpaper, just to get off all the little pokies. I can feel it pulling as I'm staining. And I like it that it goes, some places are dark and some places are not as dark, because to me it gives it a more realistic look, some dimensions and shadow and whatnot. So just my opinion. It dries pretty quickly because it's not real thick. It's a pretty thin coat. If I wanted it even, then I would work on it a little longer, but I don't care so much if it's not even. So this is a really long one, so I'll probably use this for the big flower. I'll put that in my vase here to dry, and I'll be back with more. Before I glue my flowers onto my stems, I wanted to point something out to you about these two-dimensional flowers. If I turn them over, this little one, I actually glued these pieces on the underside as well as on the front side. This one I did not, and you see how they're popping out. You don't have to glue them. I chose to glue them on this one just as an example, but this is the difference. This flower, stands up. So if you used it as a table decoration, it will stand up. I'm assuming, I haven't checked, I'm assuming they would all do that on all the sizes, but you could use these as a table decoration and then simply scatter leaves around the table. You know, this one won't stand up because I glued the legs, if you will, together. But then you'd have dimensional flowers on your table, or you could do them flat like this. Personally, I like, for table decoration, I like the dimensional. I think it's has a really cool look to it. So anyways, I am letting my heat gun warm up, my glue gun, and then we are going to glue on these stems and the leaves and complete this project. And what else? Oh, this flower, the middle stickles, is still drying. I went ahead and glued it on there. I got some stickles on my fingers, but that's okay. So, but it won't bother us. We've got it glued. The black dot is glued on, and we can go ahead and finish. This one this one wasn't dimensional, so it's not going to stand up, but I think it looks like I did glue some of them. So. Okay, I think my glue gun is heated up. I just don't know how well, ouch, yeah, it's hot. I don't know how well it's gonna reach over here. That's the problem. Okay, so I'm gonna glue these on, which I'm actually kind of now thinking that I want to put some of these on my wall, but I'll go ahead and glue them together, and then if I need to, I'll just take them apart, but I'll glue them together for the sake of the video. So we'll glue this one first, and this is going to be kind of trial. I'm just going to glob some glue on here, get a good amount, and there, that should work. I just wanted to test it. Okay, now we're going to put that aside and let it dry. It's kind of at an angle, but that's why I tested it. I think it'll be okay at an angle. Now let's do this one next, which I'm going to do this. This one, see, this one is flat, so it will, oh, it's still wet, of course. Don't stick my finger in the middle, and it should be okay. It's a little off center. I'm going to turn it. My gun does not want to stand up. Okay, now I'm going to move this one aside. Let that glue dry. And we'll do this one. I didn't even stain up here. Let's see. I'll do that real quick, just in case it wants to show. I don't think it will, but just in case. Okay. Right. Decide where I want that. This one's a little bit larger flower, and so I want to have it up a little bit. Okay. Now, I think I want this to dry up. So, let's see. I'm going to move this over here. You won't be able to see it probably off camera, but I'm going to use my glue bottle to hold that up. That might be too much. Let's try this bottle. There. That's better. Okay. And then this is the big one. This one's flat, so this one should dry pretty. This stick actually is quite bent. So we have to decide with the bent stick, and I know I'm off camera. I think we'll go sideways with it. And I have to get another glue stick. This thing does not like to stay up. Okay, so I think I'm going to go, got to give this one some good support. So I'm going to go all the way down there and all the way up here. I think that's good. And okay, we're going to let these dry, and then I will come back and we'll glue on the leaves. Okay, I think we're here to finish up, and I just want to show you. I went ahead and glued the flowers on off camera because there's really nothing to it. It's easy to figure out. The biggest thing is placement and size, but I just stuck some hot glue here, and you could use regular glue if you wanted to wait for it to dry. And I just put the leaves that we had already made on there. So here is the small one. Make sure this is in camera and you can see. And I did 3 leaves. Here is the dimensional one. This is the next one, also dimensional. And the big one, I kind of went a little bit crazy with the leaves. I'm not sure. I decided to put some big leaves and some small leaves. And I don't think I have any small leaves. Oh yeah, I do have one left. I don't know. I could put another one here maybe. I might do that to cover this up or something. I don't like this part showing right there. Looks unfinished. Maybe I could put one in the back. This one I did put one in the back. Here, this one was glued on the back. These 2 are glued on the front. So anyways, that is my flowers from the flower punch board. You could make these as whimsical and cute as you wanted, and I honestly believe with the right paper and whatnot, you could make them very elegant and pretty. They don't have to be cutesy and whimsical. So mine are kind of whimsical and for child's play, I guess. But I think they're cute, and I think that this should help give you some ideas, and it shows you all the different sizes that you can